you want to make sure you bring them back. So write down what you want to talk about, all the specific things before you go into that call, so that you're really prepared. You know your stuff. I wasn't prepared, I wasn't planned, I wasn't practiced. And they knew it, they can tell. And what happens is you go into left brain. Your left brain is your analytic brain, your right brain is your creative brain. In your analytic brain, you stay focused. When you go into your right brain, that's fight, flight, or freeze. And when you go there, what happens is you start missing steps in the sales process. You take risks that you wouldn't normally do, i.e. you start giving away big discounts that you normally wouldn't do. You start saying things that you wouldn't say. You start listening to the little voice inside of your head going, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Oh, what was I thinking? Oh, la, 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 la. And you fail to listen to what your customer's saying to you. And you're missing the clues that they're telling you, because customers give you clues when they're talking to you, right? And you're missing them. But worse than that, what happens when you miss those steps in the cycle, in the sales cycle, and that's why it's so important to have sales training so that you know what those steps are. When you miss those steps, it triggers what's called the amygdala in the client's brain. And that's called the reptile brain. And what happens is psychologically, they automatically feel a sense of distrust towards you. You haven't even presented, and they're thinking, don't like that person. No, don't like them. I'm not buying from them. And that's the problem. You haven't even gotten to your big presentation yet, and they've already psychologically, without even them knowing, they've already said, no, not interested. So it's very, very important to have sales skill, to know those processes, to have a mental map. The better quality of the question that you ask, the more engagement you're going to get back. The better the quality of the question, the better the quality of the answer. Now, not only that, but instead of doing that product dump, what you want to do is you want to do features and benefits. What it is, what it does, and how that customer is going to benefit, okay? Now, the other thing that you want to do, instead of just, getting eaten up and spit out, you want to make sure that with your clients that you're doing other things like having sales processes. Because if you aren't confident and you aren't planned, prepared, and practiced when you go in terms of the things that you want to say, and you have it written down, because your shark can take you all over the little swimming pool, all over. And I'd go in there, and I was so excited, and I'd stand in front of this customer, and I'd be, I was so excited because I had personality and charm, remember? And I had a business card. So I was prepared. I was so prepared. No, I was not prepared. That was the problem. I was not prepared, planned, and practiced. And that's the problem. I didn't have any sales skill. So I go in, and what would I do? I would go on and on and on and on and on and on, and this is my product, and this is its time clock, and this is how it works, and it's made out of steel, and it's really, really great. And these are the cards, and the cards go in, and you can do this, and you can do that, and this is great. And then, your HR person can do this, and you could on and on and on, and you could see this customer. And at first they were kind of engaged, and then they started to wilt like a flower. And then, and then I realized that the customer kind of turns into a shark, and I'm the guppy. And he spits me out. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good, because he was not happy because I was doing what's called a product dump, where all you do is go on and on and on about what your product does. And here's the thing, 50% of calls, so when you go out and you're promoting your product or services, 50% of you all you're doing is going on and on and on, and you're overwhelming and you are losing your client. Instead, you do want to be asking questions. Every time you ask your customer a question and the